All right, welcome to the lesson on reading bus, plane, and train schedules. And what I want you to be able to do after this, I want you to be able to read a bus, plane, or train schedule and determine how to get from point A to point B. Now, my focus in the homework and the task that you're going to do after the video here is you're going to practice reading a bus schedule. And that's because I'm leaving the plane and train schedules for the assignments, so you get a feel for or flavor for all of them. But to overwhelm you with all three of them in the homework, it's going to take enough time to work our way through the bus schedule as it is. So I want you to be able to get from point A to point B. So I want to just talk about schedules in general. So before you panic here, how do you read and decode a bus or plane schedule? Well, what I have in the next couple slides or panels, and you can see this in the notebook that you're looking on in, you end up with a lot of the larger cities have a system like this, where they have what we call depots or hubs. So for example, we have hub A, hub B, hub C, D, and E. Okay? What these are kind of hub stations where you then get off your bus and you then board another bus which will take you out to the outlying areas. So here on this side here we have kind of a hub schedule. Hub, or what they call them as an easy-go or express bus schedule. So what does that mean? It means that there is going to be a part of the schedule that tells you how do I get from station A to station B or station A to station C. Okay? From those hubs or those stations, there is a series of buses that will take you out to the outlying region. All right, so for example, once you get off at B, you might get on this bus, and this bus may service this area of the city. So it goes around the streets over here and doing the drop-offs. E will service a region over here. Okay, C is servicing a region here. A might be servicing this region, and then D might be catching this region here. So you need to get or read the outer layer of the bus hub in order to get to those particular regions. So they have all the stops that are involved on these express routes. Once you get to a specific station or a hub, so let's say we get to station A, then the schedule starts to look like this. So it is quite a daunting task. You're looking at this thinking, oh my God, how does this work? But that's what we're going to work our way through. Okay? So let's say this was, for example, for argument's sake, I know it's not the exact same for people that might recognize this, but let's say that you and I, we arrive at hub A. Okay? We got to hub A on our express. This is hub A, so let's say I got dropped off up here. This is the bus route that hub A services. So if I get off the express bus or the hub bus at station A, I can then board a series of buses that make this particular loop. And here's the schedule for that loop. All right. So anyway, they have their stations laid out. I'm just trying to read this a little bit. It's a little blurry. So the way this particular one works, it tells you at this particular pickup point. So let's take Fisher, Holman, and University. So I'm going to look at this one right here. So Fisher, Holman, and University. So if I go to my picture, so my red boxes correspond. Okay, when can I expect a bus or pickup? So here are all the times. So we have 5:48, there'll be a bus, 6:18, 6:33. Then there's a gap, 7, 7:18, 7:35. So those are the times I can expect a bus to appear at that particular station. All right. Now, if you're visiting a city, you're not going to be so much concerned at when you're going to be there. What you're going to be concerned with is how do I get from this point to this point, and as long as I know the name of the bus station, then I can know what point I have to be dropped off on. So as you ride the bus, you need to be able to interpret when do I have to get off as well. So it's not just the simple fact of getting on a bus. You have to make sure you're on the correct bus and go from there. So the example in the homework I have is a local example of a city nearby. And what you're going to practice, I basically have the map set out, and I want you to get from point A to point B. Now you're going to use you're going to use your iPad, so don't put it away because the map does not print very well. It's kind of like these maps here. They're a little bit blurry, but if you look at it in the PDF, it's a lot clearer. So strategies. So strategies for reading a bus schedule. So the first one is find my location. Okay, you need to know where you are on the map. All right. Second, find where you want to go. Where you want to go. And we'll say on the map. So it's very important that you're able to identify your end location so that you know what bus route or what train route, if you're looking at a subway, that you need to go. All right. So once you've located your starting point and end point, then you need to move to locate the bus or train routes. Now the nice thing with the subways and the buses in the big cities, if you move to the cities, or you use the transit when you're visiting or you live there, what you're going to find is they're the same. Okay, the train obviously can't leave its tracks, so it's got to follow a certain route. And buses are the same way; they do the exact same route. They're not going to be like a school bus where they vary and do different types of drop-offs. They follow the exact same route. So you got to locate the bus and train routes. So next, you have to identify or answer the question, do I have to change buses? Do I have to change buses? And the answer to this is probably yes, because one bus does not service the entire city. If you stay on the bus, you are not going to go and see the entire city. You are going to see a segment of the city. So for example, if you are on, let's say, I'll draw in a simple bus route. So maybe this is bus route A in blue. Bus route B might look like this. Something like this. So that's B. And then finally, bus route C is over here somewhere. If you want to get to this location over here, so let's say you are at this point here, so start and finish, you may have to switch onto 3 buses in order to get there, and you need to know where the drop-offs or where those exchanges are to get off to move across the city. It's the way it is. Subways work this way as well. They don't always take you to your exact location, so you may have to make some switches. All right, and finally you need to plan out the route. Now as you get more familiar, if you're visiting, you might have to write this down or mark it on the schedule. But you need to plan out your trip, and even if it's a simple trip, you need to know what stops you're getting off at, where to get off, where to get off, where to get on, so on and so forth. So it will be a bit of a struggle. You're going to get frustrated a little bit initially, and then as you get a little bit more practice, you'll get a little bit more comfortable with it. So good luck with that. We'll sit down, and someone will be there to give you a hand with this. Like I said, we're going to start small, and then the assignment will give you an opportunity to work on a little bit more larger scale. All right, good luck. See you in the next video.